also to help you and support you the initiatives of WynActive and Wyndham City. Hi, welcome to the WynActive webcast. Tuesday, exciting day, and we've got another great webcast for you today, and I'm really looking forward to it. My name's Barry Harrison, and I'm from WynActive, and my co-host, my partner in crime, one half of the dynamic duo. Welcome, James Robertella from Wyndham City. How are you today?
Yeah, really good, Barry. Thanks again for having me, and another midweek special for our WynActive webcast. Great to connect with everyone out there, and bring to you someone who's, I suppose, from behind the scenes, the face of everything that WynActive is doing from a communications perspective, and having a really big role in providing you with all the great content out there. Alek Olszewski, the Assets and Infrastructure Manager at WynActive, and as he's sort of pivoted in these recent times, the new sort of communications guru for WynActive. Welcome, Alek, to the WynActive webcast.
Thanks, James. Thanks, Barry. It's a pleasure to be on this side of the camera. I'm normally used to being very much on the other side of the camera since these started, and watching these play out from my home office. So yeah, very excited to be here with you both today to have a chat about everything that we're doing from a communication perspective and everything beyond. Pleased to be here.
Look, it's great to have you, Alek, and I'm especially excited because you and I have worked very, very closely to get these up and running, and so everyone's aware, Alek, he top and tails these. He puts all those little labels that come across. He also does all of the Facebook, or controls all of the Facebook and the look and feel of those. The recently introduced WynActive updates as well. So he's had a massive input into the communications here at WynActive. Are you enjoying it, Alek?
Look, I must say that out of necessity, yes. It's not my normal sort of kettle of fish. So communications is something that out of the necessity I fell into as this sort of pandemic unfolded. But look, I'm learning a lot. Let me explain a little bit about my normal role. My normal role in assets and infrastructure is in managing the physical buildings that we have in WynActive. So Eagle Stadium and Aquapulse take a lot of my time. Werribee outdoor pool, everything from pool plant through to lighting systems and air handling systems. But we also in the assets and infrastructure team have a look at IT and internet and connectivity and screens and all the rest of it, telephones. And coming into this, we just so happened that there was a gap in our communications team that just befell at the same time as this happened, and so I've had to run with it. And what have I learned? I've learned communication strategies. I've learned social media. I've learned how to, I knew a little bit about video editing, but hadn't done it since I was in high school. And technology's moved on since then. So my role since I've been working from home and back at work for the first day in 6 weeks today. But my role since I've been at home has been very much, what posts are we putting out where, how effective does it need to be, and pivoting really quickly to what are the needs of the broader community, what are the needs of our community in Wyndham, and how can we as an organisation use technology to get into people's homes or to communicate as best we can with the members of the community and the members of and guests that we normally have in facility with us. So it's been really interesting and really innovative, and and to answer your question, Barry, it has been a lot of fun. I'm going to look back on these times, I think, and reflect and say, well, that was a key point in my career because it was just an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to drive change really quickly. So it has been fun.
Go for it, James.
So I think what Alek has talked about and that line around embracing the changes has been something that we've seen quite frequently with our guests. But Alek, I suppose in this this quickly evolving digital age that we find ourselves in, it's been fantastic to see how quickly WynActive have been able to to change that business model and deliver different bits of information and I suppose different experiences for the Wyndham community and the WynActive members. What specifically, what sort of initiatives have you looked to take charge and put in place for those community members and WynActive members out there?
Look, I think the first thing that we really pushed to change immediately was our website. Our website was outdated and old, and we'd actually been working on this for a fair while in the background. It was set to change at some point this year anyway, and we were probably a good 12 months into the project of changing that. However, COVID hit, and we then had to rethink how the website was going to be used. So in the space of sort of 2 weeks, we rebuilt the front end of that website such that we now get a live YouTube feed that puts videos straight from our YouTube feed in. We've updated the website so that it connects to all of our social media, so that any post that comes to social media actually automatically gets put on our landing page. And then the next step from there was to engage on our social media platforms to ensure that we were getting our health and wellness messages out there. So, and there's a lot of background stuff that needs to go on to get that happening. Plus the difficulty of social isolation, plus the difficulty of people working remotely, and trying to train individuals in how to use a piece of technology that they've got in front of them when you can't physically hold it, touch it, or show them has been really interesting as well. But yeah, James, to go back on your point, the key pieces of technology that we're using at the moment, or the key platforms we're using at the moment, Facebook. We're just starting to rebuild our Instagram profile as well. There's those platforms themselves are changing in the background as we come along. So yeah, there really is just those key items at the moment that we've been working through.
It's a lot to take on, Barry, and certainly things that go over my head. All these analytics and algorithms and all the things that we sort of take for granted when we're scrolling through Facebook and Instagram. There's a lot of there's a lot out there in the technology world, and this current situation has really fast-tracked the development of that, and it's been good to see.
I think you hit on it there as well, James. If you don't mind, Barry, I'll take it down this path. Analytics is something that we're really, really keen and keenly looking at in the background to work out what posts are doing well. And what type of activities people are enjoying. And so we drill down into the level of comments on posts and on how many people hung around for a portion of a fitness class to understand what went well and what didn't go well, and shape what our product is that we're putting out. It really is a product. It's a community service at the moment. We're putting it out for free, and we're doing it in the interest of healthy and active Wyndham community, which has been fantastic. But we really are doing that in the background as well, and it gives me the opportunity, Barry, to say that I'm not doing it alone. What we've done is we've pulled together a team of technically savvy individuals that worked throughout the WynActive business and brought them together in what's called the comms team, for lack of a better term. We meet on a daily basis. We have a 9 o'clock briefing around what's going to go out today, who's posting what, and what are the important messages of the day. And I know we'll probably get to it in this today, but there's been, by the time this goes to air, it will have been yesterday, but there's been some important messages out from the Premier this morning that we need to analyse and get our head around.
And of course, the website is wynactive.com.au. We can't let that one go by. So what has been the biggest challenge you've had moving? You didn't really move. You had your finger in the IT pie. So you've been you're a fairly technologically savvy guy, and been around the social WynActive social networks. But what's been the biggest challenge for you in this pivot, in this change? What have you really struggled with, or what has taken a lot of your time, or what has been the most challenging?
Look, I would say early days, the most challenging part was, and me and my team also managed sort of the help desk for our team members. So the earliest challenge was very quickly getting everybody up to speed with the technology that now everybody embraces. We're using Microsoft Teams, and sorry, it's a plug for Microsoft, but the initial challenge of teaching people to, and I said it again earlier, try teaching people to use Teams by using Teams. That was an initial challenge. The next set of challenges that we're facing, though, is how do we continue to make what we're doing acceptable, or what's the right term I'm looking for here? A valuable product to our community. So we got on the bandwagon early with relation to fitness classes, but there's a lot of other fitness classes out there at the moment, and we want to be engaged in the Wyndham community, and we realise that there are people that are turning to other online platforms and things like that. So perhaps we need to do a little bit of catch up now. So the next challenge for us is how, in a remote sort of way, can we up our game in the delivery of what we're putting out there. So how can we improve quality? How do we get rid of some of the sound issues that we're having to make sure that people that are tuning in live are getting a really valuable experience? And then I think the next challenge down the track for me is actually, how do we look at reopening these facilities? Because the assets and infrastructure team are the first team that'll be back in. And I had a meeting here with my offsider Pete this morning around what even does step one look like to reopen? How do we restart the pools? How do we get them back to where they should be? The pools are still running. Air handling systems are still running in some of the buildings, but what does a startup look like? What type of cleaning regime do we need to put in? How are we going to concierge people through the building? What booking systems are going to need to be required? All of these type of things. And in an ever dynamic environment where things are going to change, how also are we going to pivot each of those items at different steps? So a lot of what I'm doing right now is scenario planning to try and meet some of those challenges that are coming up.
I think everyone at WynActive is dealing with this, James, and we're all doing scenario, planning, I'll call it, but trying to forecast how the various scenarios we're going to have in opening, strategies to address those, then as an organisation, bringing it together. And all I can say to everyone out there is we now have WynActive updates every week. Please keep an eye on those, because we'll be trying to keep you as informed about all of these different things on an ongoing basis. But Alek, on these webcasts, we like to be positive. We like to, what can I say, take a really happy bent to it, if I can say that. And the first way we do that is we talk about what we're grateful for. So Alek, today, what are you thankful for?
I was thinking about this because I knew the question would come. Surprise, surprise, because I edit all of these. Look, I'm exceptionally grateful for a wonderful partner at home, Ash. We're together renovating a house. This is our first house that we've bought, and really that renovating has given me something to do when I'm not online. So at the moment, I'm spending a lot of time online with. Excuse me, there's a phone call coming in. I'm spending a lot of time online with the team, and you know that's a 9-to-5 job. But then after that, I'm renovating, I'm tiling, I'm painting a wall, and also in addition to that, getting out and doing walks and being active that everybody else is being. But the renovating is such a meditation because I can be focused on, and at the moment we're tiling bathrooms. But I can be focused on how level the tiles are and how perfect it comes out. And I'm a perfectionist by nature, so you know, straight lines and these type of things excite me, which is really sad. But the renovation is a meditation, and it's a completely different mindset to be worrying about. You know, a workplace communication. It's it's physical, it's rough, and it's with your hands, and yeah. That's what I'm grateful for today. How about you guys? What are you grateful for?
James, you go for it.
Thanks, Alek. Look, I'm grateful for two things, and they're on varying scales. I'll start off with the small thing, Alek. As you know, we like to celebrate the small things. And on Friday last week, I got a delivery of a couple kettlebells, one for Louise and one for myself, and I suppose I know everyone out there that has equipment has been very hard to come by, and I've been enjoying my bodyweight workouts, but I'm very grateful for holding something that weighs 20 kilos. So grateful for that. But I'm also grateful for all the community groups out there, and some of them might not be visible for those. Or those in the community, but it was made aware today of one particular community group that's helping support international students and providing them with $20 to go and find some food and buy some groceries. And I suppose that's a very small element to what they're doing, but these community groups have people at heart, and I think they play an important role within the community. So I'm very thankful that we have some really strong community groups here in Wyndham, and I'm sure they'll be back bigger and stronger when they can meet face to face, and potentially this week they'll begin to do that in smaller numbers, adhering to social distancing still. But that's what I'm grateful for. Barry, throwing it over to you. What's today's gratitude to?
I'm going to appear really, really shallow, okay? So I don't like reality TV, okay? I'll put that out there. I watch none of it. I don't really like it. But, the big but, I watched Lego Masters as a bit of a joke. Really? And now I'm into it. I don't know what it is, but just the Lego models. I was never into Lego. It never really appealed to me as a youngster, and so I never got into it, and I haven't been into it at all as an adult. But yeah, this show has just gripped me. So it's funny. If it was normal life, I would never probably even looked at it and worried about it. But in this time, I've had a look at Lego Masters, and we sit down, my wife and I, Sundays and Mondays, have a look at it and get stuck right into it and talk about it. And don't ask me why. And as I said, it probably makes me look really, really shallow. But hey, I'm thankful for it. It's once again, it's a bit of a distraction, a bit of fun in our lives. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So,
Alek,
James.
What's that, sorry?
I'm not sure whether you were expecting that one.
No. Look, I believe you have mentioned it once or twice off air, but I'm glad you're enjoying it. And look, I just wanted to take the opportunity to ask Alek. I suppose with so much more information going out on social media, so much more interaction, and I suppose all the different health, wellness, and fitness businesses out there that have changed their model to deliver their content through online means. I suppose, Alek, how do you see that developing once we start getting through this current crisis and getting back to what was normal life, I suppose? Yeah. Where does this whole increased social media and online interaction with particular fitness products go?
Reflecting on what the Premier said on Monday, the timeline for this looks quite drawn out. So I genuinely believe that the fitness industry is going to pivot, and that digital is where some of our product will end up. So it won't be okay just to have a gym if the situation is, and particularly the situation in the short term is, that we're only going to be able to limit the number of people that are in these spaces at any particular time. And I think it's going to be the same at pubs and clubs and restaurants and all the rest of it. So the innovation is going to have to rise, and we're going to have to think about how we do things and do them differently. So definitely digital is coming. A lot of health and fitness or health and wellness businesses are already in that space. But I think if you're a business like ours, a big community facility, and you don't have that moving forward, then perhaps that's an offer that's missing for the community. But broadly, we've had just given the numbers that we've had online right now doing our live classes, we're positioning ourselves to be doing them in the future. Maybe not to the same scale that we're doing them now, but I think there's a market for live free fitness classes to the whole community moving forward, and that helps us spread our community health and wellness message. So they're definitely important. My background's in swimming and swimming pools, and what I'm currently struggling with is the idea that in order to swim in a swimming pool, that individuals are going to have to book potentially. So trying to understand how that's going to work. So I think there's some changes in the way that we'll see booking processes and fitness processes moving forward. But all of that type of data enables us to really make these businesses succeed as well. So where there's been gaps in understanding our customer flow, we're going to know our customer flow a lot better. So we're going to be able to prepare for the peaks better. We're going to be able to understand what people want and really tailor our products for those. And in the digital age, that's phenomenally useful for business, but it's also phenomenally useful for community engagement companies like us. We're a subsidiary of council. We've got values that align with council at Wyndham and what we want to deliver for the community. So we're not just a business, and we're not just here to make money. All of what we're doing is about returning value to the Wyndham community. So driving that through this crisis is going to be one of the real positives that comes out the other side of it. Yeah, and I don't know that I answered your original question there, but I went there.
I think for me, and yes, you did answer the question. I think you answered it really, really well, Alek. But for me, this experience we're all going through and what we're providing for the Wyndham community, people will realise they don't have to go to a gym, a pool, or something to be active or to exercise, however you want to term it. And what we've got to do as a business is say, well, how can we provide that service to people? You know, whether we charge or whether we don't charge, I've got no idea. But people will want, it might be 10 o'clock at night, it might be 5 a.m. in the morning, it might be midday where they want to do a group fitness class. They might want to do a group fitness class at the 9 a.m. or the 5 p.m., but do it in their own home. They might not be able to get out, but they will realise, I think we all realise now, the greater flexibility we'll have. And as a business, that's what we've got to do. We've got to provide that to enable, as you know, James, people to be more active and healthier.
Yeah, and just to expand on one of your points there, Barry, one of the things that I definitely see moving forward is developing pathways for people that wouldn't have come to the gym or wouldn't have come to the swimming pool previously. We've suddenly got those pathways because we were able to provide a live class to your home. So if you were somebody that didn't have the confidence to stand up in front of a class of people in a live group fitness class, suddenly, bang, you can do it in your home. And that's a pathway for down the track, people being able to gain the confidence and do it in their living room for long enough that they're then able to go, right, today or tomorrow, I'm going to go and do that group fitness class for real. I'm going to interact with that instructor that I've been interacting with for the last 6 months, and I'm going to have a face-to-face conversation, and that's huge. So I really think that's where our communications and digital will take this, and it took this crisis to get us there, I think. We would have got there, but maybe in 5 years. But we'll be there in 6 months, I think.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alek, for providing your insights. I think for all of us out there that take for granted how easy a website and Facebook and all this content sort of looks, I know for a fact it takes some effort and great creativity from your end. So appreciate your work and everyone at WynActive for doing that. A quick shout out, Barry, to everyone that's part of our Find Your 30 challenges, day 2. I hope everyone is 2 days into their activity and they've ticked off their 30 minutes. And if they haven't, please jump onto a WynActive class or a video that's happened across the past few weeks.
I'll put a link just there saying, WynActive Facebook videos. Yeah, that can happen.
Hey, James, just to so you know, I am registered. I have done my 30 minutes yesterday, planning to do it today, so really keen and enthusiastic as well. I think it's a great initiative, and I love the fact that we're doing that one together, for sure.
Yeah. Awesome. Guys, before we go, I just want to shout out to the team of other guys that are here in the background. Couldn't do it without Zach Meadows and Campbell Barlow, and then the remainder of my assets and infrastructure guys, Peter, Claire, Brent, Shauna and Georgia. They've done a tremendous amount of work over the last 6 weeks since it closed, since the facility's closed. And it's really important to acknowledge that these guys actually stepped up when we were ramping down. So we've got a really great team here at WynActive, and it really shows with the stuff that we're producing. Thanks, James. Thanks, Barry, for having me.
Thanks, Alek. Thanks, James.
Thanks, Barry. We'll see you tomorrow.
We'll catch you tomorrow, definitely. Thank you very much for joining us today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you. Thanks to Alek. Thanks to James. I've really enjoyed this chat. I've learned a lot, as I always do from Alek. Stay safe, stay healthy, look after each other, and keep smiling. Bye for now.